Hello there. My name is John Larson, and today we are going to discuss the difference between online and traditional teaching models. We will do this by discussing the similarities and differences in each model, some of the advantages and disadvantages of each model, which adult learning theories apply to each model, and finally, how to effectively teach in each model. So, let's dive on in. First, we're going to look at the similarities between traditional and online learning platforms. The first way that these two platforms are like each other would be in the material being taught is both, no matter which platform you are learning on. There would be no need to change the material for whether you're teaching an online or a traditional classroom style setting. The next way these two platforms are alike would be the feedback given by the instructor is the same in each learning model. A professor who teaches online or in person will give you the same feedback no matter which platform you're learning on. However, the first disadvantage of these models would be the interaction between your peers. It is far easier to engage in discussions with your peers in a traditional classroom setting, since you are all there and in the moment doing your discussions, as opposed to posting online and waiting for a response. In addition to that, one other key difference in these models would be the online student may have to learn or teach themselves material, since the material is online and presented to the student in articles and different other forms that are online. So this may be daunting for a new student who's not familiar with the program, the material, or anything like that. The type of class I intend to teach at the college level would be an introduction to public speaking class. The first advantage of taking this class in either model would be the student's performance is not impacted no matter if they're online or in the classroom. According to a 2007 study in an International Journal of Information and Communication Technology Education, Daniel Shelley and his colleagues state, quote, "In multiple studies on the matter, they found no real difference in performance when a student took the same course online or in person," end quote. The other advantage would be the student has the choice to take the class in the manner they prefer. Simply putting, a student gets to choose whether to take the class online or in person and choose the learning environment they prefer to learn in. As stated by Amanda Hurlbut, a professor at Texas Women's University, in a 2018 study published in the American Journal of Distance Education said, quote, "Statistically, students who also reported comfort with online environments tend to perform better as evidenced by higher assignment scores and overall course grades," end quote. When considering teaching an introduction to public speaking course online, there are some definite disadvantages to this model. The first disadvantage would be the instructor teaches from a distance. This can be difficult for a new student who has no experience in public speaking and would rather get feedback in the moment as opposed to in an email. Another disadvantage to teaching this class online would be the digital divide. Unfortunately, this is very apparent in our society today. Access to proper internet sources can be challenging for some students, and this can ultimately hinder the student completing the assignment properly. When considering which adult learning theory applies to each style of education, self-directed learning theory applies to an online learning setting, and this is self-evident in our program here at Grand Canyon University. The student takes on a lot of responsibility to teach themselves the material and to take ownership of that material. However, Knowles' theory fits right into the model of teaching students in a traditional classroom. Knowing the styles each student prefers to learn in is crucial to the success of your students. Presenting material to students is an important task for a professor, and presenting that material in the appropriate way is also important. When teaching in a traditional classroom, gaining knowledge on how your students prefer to learn and what brought them here is critical in knowing how to deliver that material to your students. In a more online setting, it can vary on how you should present your material to your students. Knowing this can be achieved by continually posting and checking in on your students in the online platform, since this is your main mode of communication with your students. In conclusion, we have discussed the similarities and differences of each model, some of the advantages and disadvantages of each model, which adult learning theory applied to each model of learning, and how to finally effectively teach in each model. I hope you all learned something today, and I hope this helps you understand the differences of each teaching model. Thank you.